It's not a question, it's a statement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that sometimes I try to do the right thing, and there's a heavy price that follows it, as like I did the wrong thing. And so I look at it, and I see that, yeah, actually, it's a pride thing that I did. But I was thinking it was a good thing to do for a good purpose, intent, like for good. But it didn't be that. It turned out to be a pride thing that I had no idea it existed like that. None whatsoever. I didn't think that was like that. As a matter of fact, my thought was that, this is interesting. Let me see what the waaz is saying. The waaz is saying right after that incident, yes, it's pride. You have lots of pride. It couldn't be good because there was pride in it. And it was so hidden. I didn't see it until the waaz. Up until the waaz, it was like some kind of smugness, like, okay, yeah, I got this good thing going on and nobody is recognizing it. But the waaz was saying, no, it's total pride that you have. And then I looked at it and I could see, yeah, good grief. How can I run to fix it? So I'm thinking of ways.
You are running to fix it. You are running. You think you don't have something, you don't have a certain sickness or an illness, then some open sign is showing to you and you're taking lesson from it, you are fixing it. As long as you're always running to say this thing, this sohbat, this waaz, it is speaking about characteristics of the ego, and I have it. As long as you're thinking like that, you will always improve. You're always running to fix yourself. The moment when you see all these things happening, the sohbat, the waaz, your interactions, and you see the characteristics of the ego that is being described, and you say, I don't fit into this category, I'm better than this, it doesn't apply to me, that's the time your ego has already fooled you. You understand? That is the time the ego has already fooled you to say, I'm not like this, I'm much better than this. Now, as long as you are refining it, it's going to be polished and it's going to get better and better and better. If you're not refining it, then maybe from the outside it looks like it's okay, but from the inside you know it has so many smudges and fingerprints and everything that is not refined, it is not polished. And one day all those smudges and fingerprints is going to pile up and it will become a rust. That maybe all it needed was just a little wipe, but when it becomes a rust, like Sheytan is saying, that it needs a Brillo. It needs a scrub, a hard scrub. You understand? So you try to fix it yourself. You're also sleeping. So you have to fix yourself. Now, you are doing something. If the man, he is sure of his intentions, if he's looking at his intentions every time, intentions of what? Intentions of doing things. You're praying. I'm praying for the sake of Allah. That's why they say to make a niyat, to make an intention, it is farz, to make an intention. If you don't make an intention, then it's not going to be so good for you. If you don't make an intention, the good things that you are doing, it may become bad. If you don't make a good intention, the things that you are doing, it may be kidnapped by your ego and by shaitan. So many people thinking they are doing good, but they're not really examining why they're doing it, the intention of doing it. And evil people, they just use them, correct? So you have to use your intelligence, and faith must teach us to become aware and awake to the tricks and the traps of our ego and of shaitan. This is beyond dogma. This is beyond religion. You cannot say, no, I don't believe that. That is not in my religion. Whatever that we've said, it fits into every religion. It fits into every spirituality. It fits into every intelligence. Which is why they say Sufism, now it is the undercurrent of all belief systems. So now, you are examining your actions. You are praying and you say, I'm praying for the sake of Allah. Then pride enters when you're praying. They say, oh, I'm praying so good, better than others. Once you start saying that you are better than others, then that's the time your pride has entered, your ego has entered. Now, does that mean you're going to make a show, like some people, some systems, some traditions, they make a show, you have to be so humble. You're praying, you have to look humble, you have to wear humble clothes, you have to always look sad. That is also a show. Who is it in between? You and your Lord, correct? Why you have to show? Why you have to show people that you are humble? So that people will say to you, oh, mashallah, what a humble person. So that means still, you are not doing it for your Lord, you're doing it for others around you. Who cares which people, everyone believes one thing or another about you. Who cares who says anything? If you are clear with your Lord, the intention that you are doing it for your Lord, who cares what people think? You cannot please Allah and please this dunya at the same time. You cannot. You please Allah, then those ones who are pleased with Allah, including this dunya, He will run after you. He will make it easy for you to live in this world. Understand? Once you enter into that too, don't think you're going to be stuck there forever. It's just ease. Then you're going to be presented with another challenge. They made it easy for you to enter. The dunya is running after you. Now, they say don't be stuck, because now you're on the fast track. You don't enter into the highway to stop. This is the highway. You enter into the highway, now you have to keep up. How you keep up? They're going to bring you other challenges to your ego. Maybe you never had before, so that you're not going to be stuck there. You are 30 miles per hour from the village, from the towns, the upstate, correct? You cannot go higher than that. They give you a ticket. Now, when the speed changes, it says now you're entering into a highway. You cannot go at 30 miles an hour. You understand? You understanding? So now you have to go faster because you are on the highway. You want to go 30 miles an hour? Don't go on the highway. Stay there. But on the highway, we're going to different views, different destinations. It's never ending. There you're going to be stuck, circling around and around. Anyone who is stuck, they're dead. No matter where you are. You're stuck, you're dead. You're not making any progress. So now you have to watch yourself. New challenges coming, you take it. Now you're going to go higher. From there, it's not going to stop there. Another challenge is going to come. Don't say test. Don't say punishment. Huh? There is a challenge that is in front of you because now you're on the highway. You have to go. If you go at 30 miles an hour, you're going to be given a ticket. Why are they giving you a ticket? They give you a ticket because you are going to harm so many people traveling at that speed. You're going to harm yourself first. You understand? So now you're doing something. You're clear, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah. You're not making a show. You are weak. You cannot do it 100%. And you admit it. Person who admits his own weakness, he cannot be proud. He cannot be. The one who is a believer, who is a servant of Allah, he can never be proud. It's impossible. If you have an atom's weight of pride in your heart, paradise is forbidden to you. It becomes a haram to you. You are forbidden to enter into a paradise if you have a speck of pride in your heart. You understand? The one who is saying, I am a slave. Allah doesn't want slaves. Allah wants servants. But people now, they say, I don't want to be a slave to Allah. Some Wahhabi types, they say, you cannot even say you're a servant of the Prophet. You're servant only to Allah. But you say you are servant to Dajjal. Every day you're serving the Dajjalic system. And you're saying you don't want to be a servant to the Prophet ﷺ? That brings you honor. Definitely that one doesn't want honor. If you're a servant to Allah, how can pride be in your heart? How can that servant have pride? Because he knows he's a servant. And he knows his own weakness. And he knows Allah's power. And he understands Allah's mercy. And he understands that the actions that he is doing, the good actions, even that is not coming from him. It is coming from Allah. So how can you take credit for it? The one who takes credit for anything is no good for nothing. But the one who says all credit goes to Allah, that time Allah will raise him higher and higher. Allah may test. Allah will say, we give you some things and people are going to praise you for that. Then that is a test. If this whole world praises you, but you are not praising Allah, you are no good for nothing. If this whole world curses at you, but you're always praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His whole creation will hold you high because you hold Allah high. So, you're recognizing something and there is pride, so sit and think. Okay, this is inside of me. Does it apply to me 100%? Don't be foolish too. Sometimes things are being shown, but it doesn't apply to you 100%, maybe 10%, maybe 50%. You got to know. You got to be able to pick up. Because that is another trick of the ego too. You're doing something, you're trying to be good, but you're being very foolish, and somebody is saying, yeah, people are doing it with pride, then suddenly you're going to cry and say, oh, I'm doing this for pride, and you're going to hit yourself. Why are you doing that? And you're going to cry. If you are checking your intention, you know how much you are responsible for and how much you are not responsible. Check your intention. Check your intention. You deviate a little bit. Check your intention again. You'll be able to correct yourself. You check your intention. You deviate a little bit. Come back to the main road. Do you understand? We are following a Shaykh. We are following the Prophet. We are following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are sick, you are not going to take medical advice from everyone. Do you understand? When you are sick, you're not going to take medical advice from a cashier at Walmart. If you are sick, you're not going to take medical advice from an engineer. If you are sick, you're not going to take medical advice from a chef. You're going to take medical advice first from who? A doctor. When you are spiritually sick, make sure you go to the spiritual doctors, the doctors of the heart. I don't mean spiritual doctors, the ones who play with other things and the one who takes money from you, writes prayers and saying that you have to buy this prayer for protection, gives you this, gives you that. Playing with shaytans and with the other ones, that's not a spiritual doctor. That is those ones who are already lost. They sold their religion for money, for little money, for a cheap money. You understand? I'm talking about those spiritual doctors that they understand the disease of your spirit, of your heart, and they'll be able to tell you, get out from that mess, walk this way. If you're taking lesson from that doctor, then anyone else who is supporting what that doctor says, listen. Anyone else who is not supporting what that doctor says, why you have to listen? Inshallah, may our Shaykh's hand always be on top of us. He is our doctor. Amin Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha.